Hi guys! So I'm here today with another brand breakdown. The brand breakdowns are an opportunity for me to go through everything that I own of one brand and just tell you guys what I think about each thing. So today is going to be e.l.f. and I have quite a few products from e.l.f. If you don't know, e.l.f. is eyeslipsface.com is where you can get it, and it is a very low cost brand. They are also available at a lot of Targets and Harmon Face Values and some other stores also. And everything in the range, when they started out, everything was $1 to $3, but they've since expanded the range and now things can be all the way up to $15. And the products can be pretty hit and miss. I mean, they're definitely worth trying because they are so affordable, but not everything is going to be a big win. But let's start with tools. So first up, I have the Daily Brush Cleaner, and this is great. I just started using this, but I already have almost used up a bottle, and this is my backup. So what this is it's just a clear spray that when you're done with your brushes, you can just spray some of this on, wipe your brush off on a cloth just to get the makeup off, and it is antibacterial. So it's good for kind of spot cleaning each day, but then you are still going to want to use a full-on cleanser to really wash your brushes. And then I have a lot of e.l.f. brushes. One that I'm not crazy about is just from the regular line. These are the $1 brushes with the white handles. This is the e.l.f. smudge brush, and this I am not a huge fan of. It's a little too domed, so it's hard to get exactly the precision that I want. Even for a smudger brush, it's just a little too big for really precise smoky stuff, but I haven't thrown it away. I mean, it's good enough that I'll use it every once in a while. This is what I use almost every day for my foundation if I'm not using a sponge. This is the powder brush, and as you can see, it has a flat top here, and it's just really good for buffing in your makeup. It's really soft, and I just find this is so fast. This and a BB cream is like the fastest way possible to do my face, because you just dot the product on, you blend it in with this, and you're done. So I really love this one, and I think I have 3, because once I realized how amazing it was, I got a bunch of them. It's so dense, and this one's $3. This is another one that I use almost every day. This is the small stipple brush. It is perfect for cream cheek products to dab them on and then I use a circular motion to blend in. It's also good. I've used it for under eye concealer and highlighting. It's just a really great brush, and this is $3 also. And then I have the small tapered brush, which I just talked about in a favorites video. This is amazing. It's one of their newer studio brushes, and it's perfect for blush and highlight for powder products. So I use this when I'm using cream, and this when I'm using powder. So these 3 are pretty much my everyday face brushes. I don't use any. I have some higher end brushes for foundation and blush, but these I just prefer. So these I would highly recommend. And then I have some that I feel so about. These are eye brushes. I have one that's a flat eyeliner brush, and this is from the Bamboo collection. I don't know if they still do this, but it had a bamboo handle here. And this I actually use quite a bit. I like it for eyebrows because it's so small, and so you can really get a precise application. Then I also use this for liners. It just is starting to fray out on the edges a little bit, so I don't know that it would be good with like a gel liner, but for powder liners and powder products for my eyebrows, I have gotten quite a lot of use out of this. And then one more eye brush. This is the eyeshadow C brush, and this is definitely one of their most popular brushes. It's just great for packing color onto the lid, and that's exactly what it does. It packs it on there. It's not going to blend it. It's not super precise, but when you just want to put your base color on or your highlight under your brow, this is perfect. So that's all the brushes I own from e.l.f. I've had more than this in my collection, but when they're not working for me, I do tend to just get rid of them. So there may have been more that I've tried and not liked, but I mean, for $1 to $3, it's definitely worth trying some of these out. I don't have any e.l.f. foundation in a compact or liquid foundation. I've never tried that area of the range. However, I do have the high definition powder in clear. This is one of those super fine powders that just poofs up everywhere, but it has a great finishing powder, and I really enjoy this, and I use this quite a bit, and it's a huge amount, and it's $3. Now cheeks. So besides brushes, I have definitely been drawn mostly to the e.l.f. cheek products. I started by trying out the contouring blush and bronzer set, and this is before, now they have different shades in this, but this was just the original one that they had, which I don't know what it's called. But it's a bronzer and a blush, and I definitely have never used this bronzer. It's really dark, and it's also has sparkles in it, and also I just don't use bronzer. But I have used the blush quite a bit, and I really like this blush. It's just gives a really healthy glow to the skin, and I like that there's a mirror in here. So because of the blush, I've used this quite a bit. And then this is one of the first things I tried from e.l.f. also. This is the e.l.f. Shimmering Facial Whip. This I think is in peach, golden peach. And this I put a little bit on my cheeks today. It's a little deeper than I would usually wear for a highlight color. I'll show you. But if you just put out like the tiniest little bit and then blend it out, it is a really beautiful product. And they have these in a bunch of different colors. And they're $1. So I think to play around with, they're great, but I honestly have not used this very much. I've had it for a while. I used to have a couple more shades, but this is the only one I held on to because it's just a really pretty color, but barely do I use these. Like, never, ever. This is one of the standalone blushes from the Studio line. These are $3 each, and they do have a mirror, which is really nice, and you can see the color through the compact. So I love the packaging on these. And this is in Coral, I believe. Candid Coral. And this is actually really similar to the blush shade in the contour and bronzer one. Maybe just a little more coral and a little less pink. But I really enjoy this too, just to give a healthy flush to the face. I used that today on my cheeks. And then this is a newer item for them. This is the blush palette. I believe this is $5. And this comes in light or dark. And it is a palette with huge mirror and 4 blush shades. And these are really beautiful. Blushes. I haven't reached for these a ton yet, but sometimes with blush it takes me a little while to kind of make my way around to new blush products. And even for light, these are so bright and vivid. Let me just swatch these for you. So those are those 4 colors, and they are really impressive in their pigmentation and how soft they are. But as I said, I haven't used this a ton, so I can't really speak to how long they last or how well they perform. The other nice thing though about this palette is that you can pop these out and you could make your own palette with shades from the light and the dark, which is pretty nice. And also I think they're slim enough that you could magnetize the back and put these in a Z palette also. So those are, I think this is a really cool product, and for $5, that's a lot of blush. Then I have one more blush product. This is one of the HD blushes. These came out after Makeup Forever had their HD blushes, which is a cream blush that is in a little pump like this. And this color is Starlit, I believe. Superstar. This is Superstar, and this is this color. So you can see how I just have the tiniest little bit right there. And that's how that blends out. So these are so pigmented, and in fact, if you read the reviews online, some people think these are too pigmented to the point where they're difficult to use, but I really love this one. And the way I use it is the way that Emily Noel shows on her channel how to use them, is I just spread some out of my hand like this, and then I use my small stipple brush to just pick up the tiniest bit and use it that way. And I really like it. It has a formula that really blends into your skin, and it looks like your cheeks are just rosy. And not like you have something on top of them. So I think these are definitely worth a try, and these are $3 also. And now I have one eye palette. I used to have one of the huge e.l.f. palettes, like the big rectangles with all the different colors, and I even did, one of my first things I did on YouTube was a series of tutorials using that palette, and then I just got rid of it because I just wasn't reaching for it. It was just too overwhelming. I could never remember which were the shades that worked really well and which were the ones that didn't perform as well, so I just ended up getting rid of the entire thing. So now all I have is one of these Prism eyeshadows palettes. These are $10, so in e.l.f. world, one of the more expensive products, although I did get this for $5. It was like if you spent a certain amount, you got this for $5. So I was able to get it on a deal. This is the Naked one. So this has a big mirror also. And then there's these shades here. And this I've been really happy with. These are very shimmery, but they're not so shimmery that the pigment doesn't show up. So let me swatch these for you. So here's the first 4 shades, and then I'll do the last 2. There they are. So you can see how even though they are very shimmery, you can really tell a difference between them, and this deepest shade is deep enough to create enough depth that you can get just one look out of this palette. So this I've been really impressed with, and I think it's just a really easy one to throw in your bag for an easy neutral look. The only downside would be I would love if there was just one matte highlight in here, then you could really do a whole eye look easily with it. But this is really good, and they have this in another color, at least one other color too. So that is the e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette in Naked. Definitely the best e.l.f. shadows that I've tried. Now for lips, I haven't tried a ton of e.l.f. things. I have tried the Click Pen in Fairy. That's a fantastic gloss. It's only $1, and it's similar to the Stila Click Pen glosses. I don't have a new one because I used one up and I haven't repurchased it, but definitely check those out. And then in the Studio line, this is a conditioning lip balm, and it is in the color Blissful Berry, and this is what I have on right now. These are, I don't know why there's so much packaging to these. They're like unnecessarily huge, but these are great. They are very conditioning. I think they have an impressive amount of pigment, and they just feel really good on the lips. And they smell like lightly fruity, but nothing crazy. So I think these are worth checking out, the conditioning lip balms. And then I have one of the moisturizing lipsticks in Cheeky. This is kind of an orangey, I don't know why with e.l.f. I go for a lot of the corals and the oranges, but there's that color there. It's almost like a rusty coppery color, and this I would like to try in other colors because it's a pretty good formula. I like how moisturizing it is, and I also like the packaging. I think it's really nice packaging for the price, and it shows the color on the bottom. So yeah, I'm kind of in lipstick overload land right now, so I only tried this one, but yeah, I think these are a good product. I did want to mention a few things that I've had in the past. I've used their eyelid primer, and that is really good. It's only $1 and it works just great. I've tried their eyelash curler. That is not good. I'm not a fan of their eyelash curler. I think I ended up just throwing that one away, but some people really do enjoy the eyelash curler. And that's everything I can think of. So hopefully that gives you some guidance when you're, on the e.l.f. website, which is crazy. They have so much stuff. If I were to have to pull out my favorites, it would definitely be the face brushes and the Prism eyeshadow. I think these are the real standouts. They're definitely a better value than what you pay for them. With everything else, it's fun to play with. Oh, and the high definition powder. I would say that this is a top pick for me too, because it's very similar to the Makeup Forever HD setting powder, but it's only $5. So these would be my top picks, but that is my brand breakdown of e.l.f. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!